Chair recognizes the gentleman from Breckenridge for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I speak on the bill?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today just to point out some things concerning this bill. I appreciate the sponsor working with me. We've had several discussions about this specific piece of legislation. And just a few things that I want to point out that I believe could be some extremely unintended consequences. There's no doubt probably the epidemic of the century we're dealing with right now when it comes to this issue of people that are addicted and people that need some type of treatment as a result of that addiction. Right now, the leading cause of death for people age 18 to age 45 is fentanyl overdoses and fentanyl poisoning that is taking place. And if something doesn't change, there's a good possibility that will probably be the leading cause of death of all people in the United States of America within a year because of the rate at which it's growing. So I say that to say that there is a desperate need for people that are addicted and people that need help. There's many different ways by which that we can address the problem. We know that the drugs are getting into the United States, and there's ways that we could address that are to some degree sometimes outside of our sphere or circle of influence. The other way that we can do that, I believe it's a three-prong approach. It takes churches, it takes compassionate people, and it takes communities that are willing to come together and that are willing to see the need and that are willing to work together to help people that desperately need help. There's no question there are people that have been preyed upon because of the condition that they are in. And I would love to say that I thought that this piece of legislation takes needles out of people's arms, but I don't believe that it does. My concern is that there's some unintended consequences to where people that are actually trying to help people are put out of business as a result of requiring an affiliation with the state. Let me point out why I say that. One thing is that there are a lot of faith-based groups that are out there that they just simply don't want the government involved telling them how to run their faith-based facility. They don't want them involved in their religion. They don't want them a part of what they are doing. And most people in the room probably know that I run this type of facility. And with the amendment that the lady has brought from Grayson, that fixes specifically my facility because it is affiliated with a church in Breckenridge County. But I know so many situations out there where there are churches that have facilities in different counties and tri-counties. And this, again, I stress, is a desperate need for our community. And we are in dire straits. This is not an urban issue, and it's not a suburban issue. It's not just a rural issue. It is an issue across the entire state of Kentucky, and it is an issue across the United States of America. And I just have concerns about that, and I wanted to stand up and express those concerns as politely and respectfully as I could, understanding fully the intent of what is going on. But there will be good facilities that will go out of business because they will refuse a state certification. And that is the unintended consequence sometimes of what we do here in legislation. I am all for helping addicted people. That's what I've given my life to outside of being up here. That's what I do full time. I have a young man that's detoxing right now that's getting ready to come from Milwaukee that's coming into our facility. And from my standpoint, I don't need the government to tell me how to help him. We know what we're doing. We know what we've put together. Every individual is different, and we just deal with that individual based on being an individual and what their problems are. And that's what we do. And for those reasons, Mr. Speaker, I do have to be a no on this piece of legislation. And again, I do understand the intent, but I just want to make sure it was clear why that I could not vote for this piece of legislation. Not that I don't want to help people. I do want to help people. My life is vested in helping people and invested in helping people. That's what I do. And I will continue to do that when this is over and seek ways to do that. But please, let's make sure that we do not take away an opportunity for somebody that is in trouble to get help. And I'm afraid that that's the road that we're going down. And I appreciate your indulgence for letting me say that.